Elevations Video 2. Once you have reassigned all of your layers for each elevation drawing, you will need to add your notes, dimensions, and hatching. To do this, we will first add our hatching. That'll be the first thing we add. We will go to the hatch layer. And in the Draw tab, or the Home tab Draw section, we will click on the Hatch Pattern command. And our ribbon changes, and we will choose the AR Shake pattern. And the associative boundary option is what we will use. And you will hover your mouse inside your closed boundary for your roof. And when you click your mouse one time, the hatch appears. So that's a duplicate hatch pattern from before. I'll delete that. But you'll have, this will be your finished product. On the hatch layer, and then from there, we also need to add some of these hidden lines that we see here on the drawing. So to do that, we will go to the elevation section of our layers and click on the hidden line. And we will start with our finished floor line. So that will be the bottom of the door. Click on the line tool, and we will draw in the hidden line horizontal. Turn on our ortho mode and draw that across the drawing. And then click that same line and place it across. All right, once you have drawn this line, we will need to offset this line. So our offset command. And our distance is going to be these three distances. So our first one is 7 feet. And we will offset up 7 feet. And then we will offset again 9 feet for the finished ceiling line, 9 feet. And there's our offset. And then again for 9 foot 3.5. So if you'll remember when we did our floor framing for our attic in our Revit model, the thickness of that floor system, which is also the truss system, was 3.5 inches. So our offset here needs to be 9 foot 3.5. So same procedure, offset, we'll say 9 foot 3.5. And select that bottom line and offset up. Alright, so once you have these 3 offsets for a total of 4 lines, we will move to dimensioning. Our dimensioning will be the E dimension layer. And again, just like the floor plan, we need to make sure that we have our 1/4 inch text and dimensions selected. And we'll click on the linear button. Inside the Annotate tab, Dimensions section, or you can go back to the Home tab and choose Linear inside the Annotation section. Same command for both. So linear dimension, we're going to click on the house and the line intersection. And then we're going to click on the house and the line intersection again. And drag our dimension across and place it down. Alright, so you'll repeat that same procedure for both the 9 foot. You'll click right here and here, drag it across, and then same for the 9 foot 3.5. Alright, for the text, we will borrow from our text location here. We will copy across, turn off the ortho mode. We will place the text here as you see. We will change the layer to E dimension and then double click and type in finished floor. Alright, so that'll be the procedure for that. You'll repeat that procedure as many times as necessary to complete these notes here. So 1, 2, 3 more times. You'll use your dimension tool here to note the overhang of the roof. So same procedure, linear dimension. And you'll do that for this side as well. Now we are going to add our notes for the items that are not listed with dimensions. So we will need to change our layer to elevation note. And same procedure as the wall section, we will create our leader line. But we will do that on the quarter scale, so we don't need to change anything in this location. But we will need to do the same procedures beyond that. So we'll type LE for leader. Excuse me, type the whole thing, leader. We'll specify a start location. And we will come down and then make sure that our leader itself is horizontal here. And there's no next point, so we will press escape. And our leader appears, and then we will create the text from copying from our text library. Bring it up, change the layer to the correct layer, E note, and retype the note. Once you've done one, you can copy down, as we did before in the wall section video, and then copy down again, the same spacing, and then we move the arrowhead and keep the tail of the leader the same. So use your blueprints that you have been given in the classroom, and you will create the notes, the dimensions, the hatch patterns, and the hidden lines for each of the 4 elevations. And once you have finished that, we will label our notation, our page tags accordingly. You will put 2 elevations on one drawing sheet for a total of 2 sheets for the 4 elevations. Make sure that you recheck your layers and make sure that the closest face of the building is the even and the farthest elevation away is the odds. If you do not have 2 faces, you will stick with evens throughout. So there's your example of the colors for each layer if you have questions with that. So verify by pausing the video as you go for each of the elevations to make sure that you have the layers correct. Otherwise, when we print, the thicknesses of the lines will vary too much, and the elevation might not might not appear to have any depth. Alright, so there's all 4 elevations. For this little guy here, it's just lines. So you'll draw a line. It's a 6/12 pitch, so it'll be 6 inches tall, 12 inches across, and then connect. Alright, once you've finished all of your notations and verifying your elevation, lines, thicknesses, layers, notes, dimensions, hatching, all the things, we will create a new page as we did for the wall section. We will label it A2.1 and A2.2, and we will scale the drawing to 1/4 inch equals a foot. And from there you will print the JPEG and submit to Canvas.